Hello, everybody, and welcome to Life According to Nikki. Today is a very special day. Can you feel it in the air? Because today's going to be our first interview, you guys. When I decided to do this podcast, I knew that I wanted it to be me just talking with my friends because it's the age-old, oh my gosh, we're so funny, we should start a podcast, but I'm actually doing it. Because I have friends that are 1,000 times cooler than me and way funnier than me. If you think I'm funny, first off, thank you. But second, it's amateur hour over here if you're only listening to me and throwing out a giggle. We're about to bring Annie on the scene. We met about 6 years ago. You're going to hear the story. It's actually pretty fun. I don't want to spoil anything, but we met in a pretty unique place, and my life got better once I met Annie because I realized just how funny a human being could be, and it's really given me a goal to strive towards, and I have a feeling that you guys are really going to fall in love with her. Please let me know if you want her back on the show. I'll probably bring her back regardless of what you guys want because I want her back, but please leave a comment, tell me what you thought, DM me, and let me know if you would like Annie to be a part of the show a little bit more regularly, because I would love that. Obviously, we need to consult with her before we make this decision, but Annie, just know I want you on all the time, because I'm obsessed with you. I feel like we all can relate to having a friend on Instagram, and every single time their highlight bubble is active, and especially if it's green, meaning you're a close friend, you are clicking on that first thing. You're setting aside time in your day to make sure that you can watch this. That is me for Annie's close friend stories. If you are privileged enough to be in that group, oh my gosh, it feels like you're a VIP, front row to the greatest show in town. And I really hope that you all can be included on this and you friend Annie on Instagram and that she lets you in so that we can all enjoy her humor together. I would like to apologize in advance. Remember that I'm a beginner at this, so audio quality wise, not the greatest, I will admit. We did this over Zoom, and it took me about 4 days to figure out how to transfer the audio from that Zoom call into my editing software. And then from there, it is what it is. Like, if there's a better way to do it, I don't know at this current moment in time. I'm happy to learn. Please contact me and tell me if there's a better way to make long distance Zoom call audio better. But until that time that one of you is kind enough to tell me, we're just gonna be here working with what we've got. All right? This is a low budget production, and by low budget we mean no budget. So until someone decides that I am good enough and worth paying and I can monetize this, I'm sure our sound quality will just skyrocket from there. But for now, we work with what we got, don't we, ladies? As far as the agenda for today's podcast, we are going to start out with a little introduction of Annie, how I know her. Then she's going to talk about her recent watches of TV, movies, etc. We will get into my question that I've decided I will be asking everyone, which is the hills you'll die on. We spent a hot second there, and then we round it out by talking about China, our experiences there, and our missions. We talk a little bit about what that's like and the crazy wild things that occur as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So hopefully you stick around for all of it. If you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, there will be a moment where we debate heavily Rory's boyfriends, so just prepare yourself for that. If you are a Jess fan, just know I'm not. So that's coming. I'm just excited for you guys to hear this, so let's get to it. Are we kidding? Oh my gosh, I love that. How are you, my friend?
This is exciting. I've always wanted to be like an extra in a movie, and I feel like this is basically on the same level.
I knew from the second that I was actually going to follow through and do my podcast, you were guest number one.
Truly the greatest compliment I have ever received.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, which is probably going to be quite a few people, this is Annie. Annie, do you
Hi.
go by your last name, your married name?
Yeah, but Annie's good enough. Just good old Annie. But I will pull the Warren out every once in a while just to prove, I'm married, I'm not ashamed. So, whatever you prefer. You know what? Sometimes I like just a stream of consciousness. So maybe that's what we'll aim for here. It's not just a one take wonder.
I could never do a one take wonder. I'll usually record for like an hour and a half. It'll then take me all week to edit that. All right, Annie, how did we meet?
In the old motherland in China. You were there teaching, and I was there kind of also teaching. The school that I went with, though, was like, I don't think they had ever like hired an American. It just kind of worked out that. And one of my teachers was like, there's this girl that speaks Chinese. You should meet her. I served a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Taiwan. So I was there all of 2017 and half of 2018. And then when I got home, I had done a year at ASU before I left. And I just decided, let's just minor in Chinese while we're at it. So took a bunch of Chinese classes at ASU and graduated with a minor in Chinese.
I actually didn't know about the minor part. That's cool.
I felt pretty fancy. I got like extra little cords when I graduated. And I did graduate in the middle of COVID, so I didn't have a graduation ceremony, which I personally felt like I was a victim because I have 6 brothers and sisters, and them and all of their spouses graduated from ASU. And so I've gone to way more ASU graduations than any person should have to be subjected to. And then when it was my turn, I'm like, it's fine, I'll get them back, whatever. No, Rob. When I was there walking through the building, about to go home, they talked to me. They're like, you want to come teach in China? I said, absolutely, I do. Then once we were there, I think we just met at church, right?
Oh, yeah. I met all my friends at church.
Yeah, honestly, that saved me because I'm like, I don't know anyone here, but we got this good little community together. We would do bachelor screenings every Sunday. I would eat all of your food. I felt a little bit bad about that. And you know what? I think every single train that I caught home to my apartment from your house was like the very last one. So I was like in the Uber,
The
DD, I
DD.
think they call it, and sweating profusely, like having a stomach ulcer because I'm like, I'm gonna miss the last subway of the day and then I'm gonna have to pay 4,000 US dollars to Uber home. And every time, just barely made it. And I never learned my lesson because every single time I was going home, last train of the day. But yes, we met in China of all places.
Of all places. What's so funny is one of my roommates now, Sam, we also met in China. So it's funny when I'm at church with Sam and people, it's the age old, like, oh, are you guys roommates? How did you meet? Or where'd you meet? And then I love pulling out, oh, we met in China.
Yeah,
Like,
because that doesn't
so
happen to
random.
anyone.
And we're both from Utah, like me and Sam. And then I was also roommates with Allie from China as well. When I moved
Oh,
from
uh-huh.
China, I moved to Provo and was roommates with Allie.
The best things really do come out of China.
So on my show, I act like this is like some professional gig. I like to start off with recent things that I've watched, read, just TV shows, movies, books, any sort of media consumption, and I figured we could do that both together.
I have to be completely honest. These days, I am just rewatching. I have like 4 comfort movies and 2 comfort TV shows that I watch, and I'm not really branching out. And part of that is due to the fact that we were using my in-laws Netflix and it kicked us off, and we don't want to pay for our own. So we're just kind of in limbo.
What are your comfort shows right now?
I hate to be that person, but The Office, and we have the fancy Peacock. And by that I mean I'm using my friend's Peacock and she has the fancy one. So we get like the super fan extended episodes. So it's
Ooh.
kind of like it's a new show. And Gilmore Girls, always. That saved me like my first couple weeks postpartum. I knew when I had to be up like every couple hours in the night, like Gilmore Girls was also going to be there, so it could carry me through. And then my TV shows right now, I mean my movies right now are Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee
Oh,
Curtis. Mean Girls, Legally Blonde,
I just rewatched that.
so good. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And then I've been watching Emperor's New Groove in Chinese. And then I also feel like osmosis, Ren will learn better Chinese. So really, I'm doing her a favor.
You're mother of the year is what you're saying.
100%, yes.
Are you going to teach Ren Chinese?
Yeah, and it's going to be like the most ratchet white girl Chinese in the world, but I feel like maybe better than nothing. But I have these little Chinese books I'll read to her during tummy time. I'll just pop down next to her, we do some flashcards, and she's already just so brilliant. I can tell.
That is so stinking cute. She's going to get so far in the world.
Yeah, I feel like half of my nieces and nephews speak Spanish because my siblings spoke Spanish to them. We got some Italian in there, but I'm the only Chinese.
She's going to be a businesswoman.
Yeah, I am definitely the dumbest of all my siblings, but like the one thing that I can cling on to in the dark hours of night when I'm feeling sad is that I can speak Chinese and I play the piano better than them. So it's the little things, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Sibling competition, very real. I have 3 brothers, so I was going to be at the bottom either way because I'm the only girl. So
My sister, we say that my sister prayed me here because I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. And finally, my parents got me. And they said, that's enough of that. And, you know, save the best for last. And me and my sister are 11 years apart, but we're very, very good friends.
that's so cute. I love that.
She came over last night and we watched You Again, which is actually another one I've been watching a lot of. I told her that Mandy Moore was Joanna. And for the first like 30 minutes of the movie, she's like, I just can't make that be her. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And she finally looked on IMDb. She's like, girl, that is not Mandy Moore. I said, my bad. I don't think she'll ever trust me again.
What would we do without IMDb? It is one of my most used apps.
See, you're on a whole new level because I didn't even know there was an app. I just pull it up on my browser like a loser.
No, I'm subscribed. I'm looking up who directed it, who wrote it, what they've been in, the actors, what awards it's been nominated for.
See, but here's the thing is you're like a movie person and you have taste. And like up until the age of 21, like I could not decipher a good movie from a bad movie. Like I watch anything, I'm like, okay, kind of fun. And then it's like 1 star out of 10. I'm like, oh, guess not. So like I'm very easily like susceptible to propaganda. I know that about myself. So it makes it dangerous. It makes it dangerous to live.
I'm trying to help people like you. Like, honestly, it's one of my
And I
missions in life.
appreciate it. I know. I was listening to your first couple episodes and I was making notes about TV shows I needed to watch.
Oh, good. And they're all on my Instagram too, so you don't have to remember.
Once we get Netflix back, once we stop deciding to be cheap, we will hop on that train.
Oh, good. Okay, going back to Mean Girls really quick. Did you watch the movie and what were your thoughts? Because I haven't seen it yet.
I actually haven't seen it yet either. And I wasn't planning on it until I saw lots of people raving about it. And then I was like, okay, maybe I need to.
Are you a musical girl?
I am a musical girl.
Okay. See, it really depends. I need it to feel seamless. It needs to have enough of real life. When it's just straight up musical, like In the Heights or West Side Story, not really my style. But Les Mis, or we're going to talk about this later, but The Greatest Showman, absolutely. I'm on board.
Except now that you mentioned The Greatest Showman, like the tunes are playing in my head. I'm dancing a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to think about anything else.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Annie, when I originally texted you about this podcast and things that we could possibly discuss, you came up with the idea of cartoon foods that you would want to eat. It was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but I do have a list of cartoon foods that I would eat, and the pictures of these foods will be on the Instagram. Don't you worry, guys.
I'll be curious to see if we have any that overlap. The first one is from Aristocats, which is a really great cartoon. If you haven't seen it, would recommend. It's creme de la Edgar, and this is very important. The sleeping pill version of the creme de la Edgar. He spikes it with sleeping pills because one, not only would I love to just like be drugged and fall into a dreamless sleep state for like 8 hours. I think that the sleeping pills, they look kind of like chalky and earthy. And it might be just like my anemia talking, but like that and like a bowl of cream sounds so yummy to me. Okay, the next one, and I'm not proud of these next two, but they're both from Emperor's New Groove because I watch it a lot. The first one is the pill bug that they eat when Cusco's dressed up as a woman in that restaurant where Yzma and Kronk are also there. It's like this old purple bug, and then he hits it, this steam wafts out of it, It was like crunchy, salty. But before I realized it was a bug, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that. And even now that I know it's a bug, I'm like, I could probably get down with that. I can't lie. The next one is also probably anemia induced. But when Cusco is still a llama, he starts eating the grass with the other llamas in the field. And he pulls out this clump of grass that has like a bulb of dirt hanging on it. And it looks like just the most delicious earthy salad. It looks yummy. And again, that's probably a serious iron deficiency because that clump of dirt looks yummy. The last one is from Sword in the Stone, the drumstick that they eat. Basically, any cartoon drumstick has this effect on me because it's basically a boneless wing, like kind of texture with a bone stuck in it for aesthetic purposes. So like there's no like marrow, there's no tendons, there's no any of that gross, gristly texture. It's just meat, but then rip it off a bone with your teeth. And that looks fun. That's my list.
Those are good ones. We do not have
Yeah.
any of the same.
Okay, let's hear yours. I'm so curious.
I actually had bugs on here as well, which is hilarious because I have trypophobia and the thought of eating bugs in real life, so gross. But the Lion King, when they're
The
singing,
ants?
oh, absolutely not. Ants are one of my biggest fears. No. It's when it's like the Hakuna Matata song.
Oh, uh-huh.
There's like one particular bug that they grab. It looks like a gummy worm. And it looked okay, Zootopia. There is a scene where the guard, I think he's a leopard, those donuts look so good. And the way that he eats them in 2 bites, oh my gosh. Yes. Kung Fu Panda, when he like jumps all of the things to the top shelf for the cookies, and then he's eating them rapidly and they seem so crunchy and he's just plowing through them. Those look delicious.
And you know that you would never get thirsty. They look crispy and crunchy, but you know that they'd never dry your mouth out.
Yes, exactly. I know this isn't animated, but Turkish Delight from Narnia.
Yeah, they pulled the wool over my eye with that one for sure because I'm like, that looks delicious. And then you find out what it is, and you're like, Edmund, like, get it under control. There's no reason. I know it's enchanted, but like, there's no reason for you to be going that feral over some Turkish Delight.
Yes. Okay, and then my last one, the beignets from Princess and the Frog. And let me tell you, I've never had a beignet before. I'm in Paris, looking at the Eiffel Tower, eating my first beignet, and that movie really made me think that it was going to be a magical moment. And like most everything in Paris, it wasn't for me.
Really, you weren't a fan?
No.
This
It's
is
just
probably the American in me, but the Disneyland beignets with the dipping sauce are very good.
I'm going to Disney World next month, so I will try them. But I guess
Yeah.
I'm not that big of a donut person in general, so maybe that's my
Oh,
problem.
never mind. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna like them then.
You want to know what it is? It's because in the 2nd grade, I got the stomach flu. And the last thing I ate before I was on death's bed, it was scones. And then I missed the last week of school, meaning like the dance festival. I missed my end of the year party. And so I always associate that with just throwing up so much. And it was all scones. So when I just eat a donut that only has really just powdered sugar on it, reminds me of a scone. And I'm not the biggest fan. So maybe it's a me problem.
Actually, me and Elijah were talking about this the other day. I think everyone has like a canon childhood experience of that exact same thing, which then created a food aversion for them. Because that happened to me with pizza, which I eventually got over. But cotton candy, I won't get graphic, but I have never touched a cotton candy since. I hate throwing up so much. It's a fear. So imagine my dismay when I got pregnant and literally for like 6 weeks straight. Every day I was throwing up at least once a day.
No.
I was so unwell. I was popping blood vessels in my face and in my eyes, and I would cry every day because I was so sick.
Oh my gosh, you poor thing. No, that's awful.
And the rest of my pregnancy was like really good, so I guess I can't complain that much, but
Oh, you definitely can complain. Absolutely. I believe in complaining.
thank you.
Yeah, on the list of symptoms that are just the worst things ever, nausea is going to be the absolute worst for me. Nausea and tooth pain. Those two are going to be the ones that will take me out every time. I can deal with a lot of other stuff, but I cannot handle those two.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have tooth pain later from all the enamel that just absolutely got worn off of my teeth. So I'll let you know when I'm dealing with that.
Yep. Report back.
Okay.
I want this to be a question that I ask every guest that I have on this show because I love talking about the hills you'll die on. And they need to be insignificant hills. Like, I don't want to get into politics or something that actually matters in the world. I just want things that only matter to you on an extreme level.
That's basically all that matters to me, is things that nobody cares about and that actually aren't important. Yeah, the minutia actually is the only thing that matters to me. Makes it hard to live day to day, but it's kind of fun too.
This is why we're friends, because I feel the exact same way. Like, I would go to bat for something that just genuinely doesn't matter in the end, but like a big issue, I'm like, I don't know enough.
Yeah, no, I'm pulling a disappearing act. You will not find me. You can start if you want.
All right, we're gonna start off. This one's new as of yesterday because
Okay,
there's no limit on, when it can make the list.
or it's not.
The new Beyonce song, the country one, it
Mm.
is a solid song for exactly 1 minute, 30 seconds, and the rest of it sucks.
You know what? I'm ashamed to say I haven't listened to it yet,
But
but
that's okay.
I will climb up on that hill with you. I have my bayonet, I have my flag. I'm sticking it in the top of the hill and I'll fight anyone who tries to say anything otherwise. I'm already backing you up on that.
You're gonna have to text me after you listen to it because I need to know if you agree.
Yeah.
But no, it's a bop. It's got that, everyone created a little dance from it. It's a little ditty, but as a whole song, am I gonna listen to that entire song in the car and just jam out? Absolutely not. I was so bored. And it's a 4-minute song.
If you're gonna make a 4-minute song, I better be like peeing my pants by the end. I love it so much. This is like pretty niche. I don't know if you listen to Bozzy, but all of his songs are so short. They're like 2 minutes something, and every single time I'm left wanting more. And it's both frustrating and like tantalizing. I don't know. I want to like throttle him and be like, would it kill you to make like a 3.5 minute song?
What artist is this?
Bozzy, Bazzi. I know for sure his last album or two, he has a clean version, but I think his first album is just explicit, so just keep
Oh,
that in mind.
I'm gonna add one of his songs to my playlist right now.
Yes,
I'll
yeah.
report back. What's up on your list? What's first up?
Okay, before I had a kid, and this is like 10 years ago, basically, when child leashes became a thing, I was like, that's inhumane. Now I'm like about to order myself one on Amazon in preparation for when Ren starts walking, because like I'm not trying to have my kid get snatched at the zoo, Like obviously, like we're not going to be dragging our child around in the dirt, but like a sensible backpack that's attached to my wrist, yeah, absolutely. I'll need three, one in every single primary color to match the outfit of the day. I feel like I probably won't ever get kidnapped because I just wouldn't be like convenient for a man to, drag a 5'11" woman around. And the good news is I think Ren is on par because she is almost 5 months old. And from when she was born to 4 months, she grew 6 inches taller. So methinks she's going to be a hard one to, toss in a sack in the back of your car. Like, she's going to put up a fight. So I think she'll also be pretty kidnap proof, which brings great comfort to my soul that she got my tall genetics.
Oh.
And they are mine. I did that. My husband is shorter than me. So let the record reflect that those are my legs,
See, I still to this day, I'm terrified that I'm going to be kidnapped. I mean,
Mm.
not only have I always been short, kind of an easy victim, you could say, but now I'm disabled. So I read a book called The Gift of Fear, which is one of my number one recommended books of all time. And it really did help. But yeah, no, it's a daily fear for me. Do you want to know what weapon I have in my apartment? It's a bat taser. So it's anti-grab. It's a baton. It's like fully metal. It's actually crazy.
Send me the link for that, please.
It's amazing because it's got a taser on the tip that's like super powerful, but then the sides as well. So if like I go to swing it and they go to grab it, it's gonna tase them either way. And then it also has a flashlight, and this thing could kill someone. If you just bopped someone with that, instant brain trauma.
That's kind of fun. I kind of like that.
I do feel a lot better knowing that I have that right by my bed. So, to anyone out there that wants to break in, first off, don't. But if you do, I'm going to kill you.
Fair warning. This one actually is very like specific to you because, and this just proves my point. We talked about this probably, I've been married for 4 years and it was before I was married. So it's like 4.5 years. And I think about this weekly. You said that outer space is scarier than the deep sea. And that's so Wrong. There is nothing scarier than deep sea. I'd rather be floating out in outer space than have to be at the bottom of the ocean. And I'm like still upset that you don't feel that way. You don't know enough about it. And the thing is, nobody knows enough about it. That's why it's scary. We have no idea what the heck is down there.
You know what? I might change my tune today.
I mean, it's been bothering me for 4.5 years, so I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, it would make me feel better.
The question originally was, you have to live.
It was you have to live, but that doesn't change it for me. I would die of fright within 30 seconds of being at the bottom of the ocean. I feel like space, I could at least okay, this is kind of cool before, I got scared and my heart failed.
I just have zero interest in space. Like, I can't be less interested.
That's fine. But the deep ocean, Nikki.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. Like, the fact that we just don't know what's down there.
Yeah, well, have fun. Have fun down there, learning all about it. Cannot catch you there. I'll be floating amongst the space trash and the satellites.
You and Meg made the argument that I wouldn't be able to see anything. And in my hypothetical, I can see all. We've developed the technology of light that can penetrate the deep dark of the ocean floor.
I think that's worse. I think it's worse to see what's going on down there. And everything down there has learned to survive in the darkness. Like,
maybe I'll run into the Loch Ness Monster.
That'd be kind of cute. Like, I wouldn't be mad about that.
Do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster?
Sure. Like I said, I'm very susceptible to propaganda, so I'm one argument away from believing literally anything. You got at least 3 valid points. That's why I can't look too deep into like flat Earth, because I'm like, they actually have some valid points. But then I look at Earth is round and I'm like, okay, I was so dumb to ever even entertain any of those ideas. So I just have to be very careful about what I consume because I'm gullible.
At least you're self-aware.
Yeah, that's the one thing that keeps me feeling better about myself, is I'm aware of that.
I think what I'm most self-aware about is my addictive personality. I will consume something at a very, very unhealthy rate. If there's even one tiny bit of it that I like, I'm going to take it to the worst level possible. It is going to become my whole life.
I am the same way, but thankfully I have also like a ridiculously like short attention span. And so that really kind of helps ground me.
See, I don't have that. I can stay locked in for like weeks. I actually wrote this down. 2 days ago, I found myself asking this question. Should I watch Teen Wolf? And then I did a major self-check. And I was like, is that really something that you want to add into your life at this point in time? What are you doing entertaining that thought? You know how many episodes that is. I mean, when I watched Grey's Anatomy, I watched 15 seasons in, I think it was 3 months.
Wow.
Which, if you break that down, I had a full-time job. I was working 40 hours a week. I watched Outlander in 13 days. That is 60 hours of television in 13 days. And I had a full-time 40 an hour job. Make that make sense.
I binged the first 5 seasons of Vampire Diaries in a ridiculously short amount of time. And then I was like, okay, this isn't as good anymore. I lost interest. And like 2 years have passed and I have never finished it.
I'm the same way with all of those, the Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, Pretty Little Liars. I get to 5 seasons. They've all now dated each other in the group.
Yeah.
And we're back to the original couples. I'm out.
Yeah. See, my problem is like, if I don't know who's endgame right off the bat, I don't like to just be like having this whiplash of she's with him. Like, I want to know so I can hold on to that. So when things get crazy, I know it's going to resolve itself. See that? I just felt like, yeah, just like pick someone and stick with it.
Oh, yeah. The whole Dan Humphries and
Serena, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then their parents get together and and then I also hate how Chuck went from literally a rapist in episode 1 to everyone's like, oh my gosh, we love Chuck. I'm sorry.
Redemption arc.
I hate that. I hate that. Which, we're going to get to Gilmore Girls. Jess from Gilmore Girls was by far the worst boyfriend to Rory. Hill I'd die on.
Okay, this is one thing I'll not let propaganda sway me on. That is wrong. That's just wrong. Her other 2 boyfriends were literally cheaters. Does that not bother you at all?
When did Logan cheat?
Are we counting the A Year in the Life as canon?
No, we're
Well,
talking
too
OG.
bad. No, it's sullied my brain forever. Okay, so if I guess if we're taking that out of it, still though, it's like when he proposed to her and he's like, it's all or nothing. It's like, okay. Also, like, he proposed to her without even talking to her about it at all. As long as you can agree that Dean is the worst.
I absolutely disagree.
What?
Jess is the worst. The
No, he's not.
worst.
He's the only one who will ever tell her how it is.
No. What about Jess made him a good boyfriend? Teenage Jess, who was boyfriends with Rory. Not his one episode that everyone's like, oh my gosh, Jess grew up and he's so perfect for Rory. I'm not talking about that episode. I'm talking about the person who was in a relationship with Rory.
They actually had similar interests, unlike her and Dean. Also, I just want to point this out because I think this is important. When they have the fight at the dance marathon and Dean breaks up with her, and then Jess and Rory go meet at the dock, he's like, you're broken up, right? And she's like, yes. And he's like, okay, I have something I have to go do. Then he goes and breaks up with Shane, a respectful king, before he comes back and gets with Rory. Dean, meanwhile, fully is cheating on his wife, treating her like garbage when she's doing nothing but trying as hard as she can. Oh, you slaved away for 10 hours on this roast? I just slept with my ex-girlfriend.
Some points you made, valid, and I agree with. They do have similar interests, Jess and Rory. Oh yeah, in the end, Dean really went downhill. But I'm talking boyfriend. Who was a better boyfriend to Rory? Dean did things for Rory. He tried to read the books that she wanted him to read, even though they didn't have the same interests. I don't think you have to have the same interests to be compatible, although that was great for Jess and Rory. But Dean at least made an effort. He made a whole car for her from scratch. Now, he was super annoying when he tells Rory that he loves her and then he's all butthurt.
She said I need time to think about it, and he broke up with her. Like, I'm so sorry. And you know what? I feel like he just continues to gaslight her on and off throughout the whole thing. And it just doesn't sit well with me. It's like, it's not about you all the time. Can you
That's
step outside of yourself for 10 seconds? I guess he's a teenage boy, though. So, like, I guess that's realistic, if nothing else.
I mean, true. He was really annoying with that whole breakup scenario. I was like, Dean, you're in the wrong here. Absolutely. I'm not coming to
Oh, and
Dean's
when.
defense. Okay, here's my points on Jess. All right.
Mhm.
Number one, you say that he's a respectful king to Shane. He treated Shane like actual crap.
That's what she wanted too. And the only reason he was with her is because Rory got with him while she was still with Dean. You know what? The actual problem is that Rory's the worst person in that Rory and Lorelai are the problem, and they don't deserve anyone, is actually the baseline.
I completely agree with that. I absolutely completely agree because in the end, I was anyone but Rory. That's what team I was on. I was,
Yeah.
and especially when Logan was like, he like literally flies from London to come comfort her and does all this stuff. And she gets she has this free, nice room from the grandparents. Rory, what are you doing with your life?
I know.
Okay, but sorry, going back to Jess because I need to make these points. He had a terrible attitude. All right. Homeboy was a negative Nelly always. And the only person that he was nice for was Rory. Is that not a red flag?
He was nice to Luke sometimes.
Occasionally. But even then, he wasn't like super, super nice to Rory. She had to be available for him anytime he wanted. Then it annoyed Rory that he wouldn't make plans. He'd just be like, hey, let's hang out later.
When she told him that, though, then he stepped it up. Dean, she's like, I want to go to this dance. He's like, yeah, don't make me do that. And then it went to the debutante ball. He's like, you're going to ask me to do this again? Like, the worst thing he could do is like spend 3 hours with his girlfriend. Like, sorry, you have to wear a tux. Okay. I don't want to hear it because you've never had to squeeze yourself into a pair of women's pants.
I concede on that point.
I brought a knife to a gunfight. I didn't realize we was whipping out notes and timestamps. But that being said, I will watch the entire series again, and I will make diligent notes every time Dean is just the worst person.
If you're going to do that, then you're going to need to take notes on Jess because here's another one. He goes out of his way belittling and humiliating Dean when Rory's still with Dean. Dean definitely has a character arc that goes negatively, for sure. I'm not defending Dean's evolution because he's not that great of a human. But I could never say that he's worse than Jess because Jess literally made Rory skip her mother's graduation. Rory was just always upset when she was with Jess. They were always arguing. She never knew what was
He didn't
going on.
ask her to do that. And they weren't even dating at that point. So if we're going
Totally.
out when they're dating, can't add it to the list.
Okay, then he crashed her car, the car that Dean built for her, and then breaks her arm and just leaves town.
She said, let's keep driving. Like, no one forced her to leave studying. She's just itching for some one-on-one time.
Yes, because again, it's every team but Rory. So yes, Rory is to blame in a lot of these situations as well, but Jess was a terrible influence on her, and him cleaning out the rain gutters and then being so disrespectful to Lorelai and going and grabbing a beer. Like, bro.
That's not the same time, though. That was first when he got there. And then when Roy's like, get in line, he kind of got in line.
Kind of. Keyword kind of. He was just such a bummer all the time, always leaving Rory. I felt like we were just constantly fighting when I was watching all the episodes with Jess and Rory. They're just always in a fight. Jess is your favorite.
Yes, he is.
Riddle me this then. He tried to pressure Rory to have sex with him. In the house party episode, Jess is all like, I'm not going to graduate. He's all butthurt. He acts like a jerk to Rory. Then they go to the bedroom and they start making out. And he wants things to go further and she doesn't. And she stops him. And then he instantly turns into a class A jerk. Like, how can you watch that and say that, yeah, Jess is the best?
Yeah, that's not a great look. But also, it wasn't about that. It was his underlying issues.
I just have a really hard time in general with any sort of justification of a guy taking things too far.
I agree with that. So I don't know what's wrong with me that I just still like Jess.
It's not something wrong with you. I'm just like overly passionate about it because I feel like so many women like Jess so much. And I'm like, no, you just allow him to be a jerk to everybody and to just be disrespectful. And no matter how many people try and help him, he's only nice to them, I don't know, like a third of the time. Like, bro, get over it.
He did, and it's not enough for you. Turns out to be like your best character, like the most successful, driven, supportive.
Okay, that I agree with. He did evolve, but if we're just taking it as who was the best boyfriend to Rory, Jess could never, ever, ever win, in my opinion.
Okay, what is one more hill you'll die on?
The Greatest Showman is like so polarizing. I feel like because when I got home from my mission, it was the first movie that I saw. Yeah,
Same. Absolutely same.
Because like Jacqueline's not the trained singer. I don't care. That music slapped so hard. It could raise me from the dead. Like at my funeral, if you decide we haven't had enough of her, pick any single one, like the This Is Me, whatever, The Greatest Show, the cover by Panic at the Disco of that song, I will rise from my coffin. And round 2 of life.
I was genuinely confused when I found out people didn't like it.
Right.
I couldn't comprehend.
I said, what's the beef? Did you not watch the same film as me? Like, did you not get heart palpitations at the end when all the misfits are dancing together? Like, brought a tear to my eye. I think it says a lot about their mental and emotional state.
I would agree with that.
This is the greatest show. It really is.
Oh my gosh. I remember watching that because for anybody that doesn't know, when you're on a mission, you're not able to have normal social media or, well, I don't know. It was different back in our day. Now they can have Facebook and different things. But when I was on a mission, I had a slide flip phone and paper scriptures. I did not have an iPad. I didn't have any technology and I couldn't watch any movies. My mission, we couldn't listen to any music that wasn't classical. So I was absolutely deprived. Every single week we would go to the car wash and that 5 minutes of vacuuming the car, listening to the music that was overhead in the speakers, I lived for that 5 minutes. Sometimes that was the only thing that was getting me through the week. Was knowing that we were going to go to the car wash because it was mandatory to wash our car every week. And I was going to get to listen to 5 minutes of quote unquote secular music. So coming back home after this and not having seen a movie for a year, and I watched The Greatest Showman in theaters, I think it was like the second night that I was home. I felt like it was truly the greatest movie that was ever made.
Well,
ever.
And to watch it in theaters too. Like you got the surround sounds. You know, your eardrums are nigh unto bursting. Like that would be a spiritual experience. I was just watching it at someone's house. I'm a little bit jealous.
I literally cried because I was so happy. It was a spiritual experience. I communed with the divine when I watched that trapeze scene.
I know. It just like a pillar of light in the darkness of the deprivation of the mission.
Missions are just such an amazing, complicated experience.
Yeah, yeah. I would never do it again. And in fact, I
Oh,
have
same.
dreams where they call me to go on a mission and I'm like married and have a baby, but I still go back and I'm like, I don't want to be here. But I loved my mission experience. Truthfully, like it was so good for me. I had a lot of fun. It was so hard. And the days are so long and you're so exhausted. But like I learned so much about myself and the world and like it just pushed me to be better. I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but I really loved my mission.
The amount of embarrassing things that occur on a mission it's hard to think about.
Yeah, yeah. The word for reincarnation, I got it mixed up with wheelchair because they both start with luen, which means wheel. So like luen hui is reincarnation, so it's just like, and luen tai is wheelchair. And so like back to back, I use them both in the wrong sense. So I'm like, oh, is that the woman whose husband's in reincarnation? And then I was like, we don't believe in wheelchairs. Like back to back days, I mixed them up. And I was like, okay. And then it's so humid, like I was constantly looking so ratchet. The people in Taiwan are so brutally honest. I was an anomaly. So they're like, you're so beautiful, you're tall, you have golden curly hair, but your skin's bad and you would be prettier if you weren't so fat.
Oh, yes. That was
I'm like,
every single day in China.
I'm like, I just want you to know, first of all, I've gained like 30 pounds since living here. So it's your food. And also, you're the one who's like forcing me to eat 3 times more than I want to. So you don't get to like stuff me full of 3 different types of carbohydrates and then say you'd look better if you were thinner. Mm-mm.
I kind of loved the brutal honesty because they don't see it like an insult. You know, it's just your hair is blonde, your eyes are blue, you're fat. People would come up on the street and literally say that to me. They'd say, "Oh, you're so beautiful, but so fat." Thank you so much for that. Would you like a picture?
I know,
Like,
your skin's bad. Take a selfie with me. Like, oh, guess what? Your air's polluted, so that's why my skin looks like this. So it's your acid rain that's making my hair fall out. I don't want to hear it.
how hard was it to learn Chinese?
I'm not very good at very many things, but I do have a knack for languages. So I actually caught on pretty fast. And I don't like to not be good at things. I'm used to picking up things very fast, and I don't like when I don't. But like once I got out into the field, I would just put myself in situations where it's just me and a Taiwanese person. Like I really just threw myself into it. And by the end of the first 3 months there, like I felt comfortable having conversations with people one on one.
Wow. So for anybody that doesn't know, you don't get to choose where you go on a mission. It's like a Hogwarts letter. It comes in the mail. You have no idea where you're going to go. And you submit, your application and you put any medical concerns and blah blah blah. And you read where you're going to go and what language you have to learn. So I was so happy when I read Fresno, California, English speaking. So when you read Taiwan, did you have any feeling deep inside that you were going to go foreign?
Well, yes, but I took Spanish in high school, and again, most people take Spanish in high school. They're like they know like pantalones, like. But I actually caught on pretty fast. I was pretty conversational, so I'm like, okay, maybe a little South America moment, like Europe, if we're getting crazy. And my mom and my brother were there, and I opened it, and I was truly so confused. I'm like, Taiwan, Taichung, speaking Chinese. Like, is this a mistake? And also, like, where even exactly is Taiwan? But I had so many experiences when I got there where I'm like, oh, this is totally where I need to be. Like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, I love that. I did really enjoy not having anything else to do during the day except help people. Like you wake up at 6, you work out. For my mission, we had like a workout routine you had to do, and then you study your scriptures for like an hour, and then you plan what you're going to do that day. It is a miracle if you have something to do that day. Otherwise, you leave your
Mm.
apartment at 9 a.m. and you do not return until 9 p.m. and you're out all day.
Did you ever have people like cancel? Because obviously it rained a ton in Taiwan. And so often we'd have people cancel appointments because they're like, it's raining. We don't want you to have to be out in the rain. And I'm like, you don't understand. If we don't have this appointment, I'm going to be biking around in 1.5 feet of typhoon water. Like, I will be out. It's a matter of if you want to, like, offer me a shelter in the storm or if I'm just gonna be, like, drenched in acid rain. Please let me in your house.
No, for real, because all we do all day is just go around trying to be nice to people and do service. Oh, when there was a service project, when someone was like, "Will
Mm.
you help us move?" That was the greatest days of my life.
Yeah,
That
a member
hoarders,
who's a
yes.
hoarder, and they're like, "Help us clean out our house." And I'm like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I am having the time of my life."
I helped many hoarders, many. And even though they all had cats, and I am deathly allergic to cats, and I couldn't breathe, couldn't see, those were the best days because there was something that I knew I was going to do that day. I didn't have to wander about and figure out who we're going to go see or who we're going to talk to or something to do that's productive. I remember one time we were driving around and there was this man that was raking up leaves in his yard. We parked the car and like sprint over. And I literally begged this man, "Can I please do this for you? Please. That is a solid 30 minutes of my day. Please let me rake your leaves. Please." And
That's so real.
obviously like I'm in a dress and he's like,
Mhm.
"No, I'm not going to let these two girls rake my leaves." And I was on the verge of tears. I was like, I would love nothing more than to rake these leaves for you.
I know people are always like, "Why are you dressed so nice?" Meanwhile, it's like the absolute nastiest skirt with holes from my bike. It's like stiff from sweat, like it's discolored. I'm like, I know it looks like I'm dressed nice, but mm-mm. But no, Elijah, my husband, actually served his mission in Georgia. Every time he sees like a pile of leaves, it's like traumatic to him because he's like, we raked so many yards. In the fall time, we were just raking for hours and for days. And then they just like set the pile of leaves on fire, like ozone layer who. But it triggers him to see like fall leaves because he raked so much on his mission.
Oh, that's so funny. I never one
Yeah.
time got homesick. That wasn't my issue. My issue was just being with someone, never being able to leave them. Your companions, even if it's your best friend, they're going to annoy you.
A stranger that you're with 24/7 and you have to be within sight and sound of them at all times except for when you're in the bathroom.
This is solid months with one person that you can never leave. Like
Catch
your
me crying on
shower,
the toilet, for real.
we had to time our showers on my mission. You were only given 5 minutes.
What?
Try and fit an entire
That's
day's worth of
wild.
tears into 5 minutes.
Don't even need to turn on the shower. You can just stay in there an additional 5 minutes and cry onto yourself. Lather yourself in your salty tears. And you know what? I just have to say so quick. Something that's so funny to me is people in Taiwan would literally bring their own chopsticks to restaurants because, like, sanitary, whatever. Tell me why I can count on one hand the amount of bathrooms I went in that had soap. I saw every single woman leave a stall, 2 drops of water, pretending like it's holy water on their hands to cleanse their hands, and then they're out of the bathroom. I'm like, and then they just manhandle everything, like, pee-pee hands all over this fruit you're giving me, and I'm just eating it, just trying to like not think about the fact that you have not washed your hands all day.
We would talk about that in China because I didn't know that about squatty potties. I was unaware of squatty
To be
potties
honest, I
until
love a squatty potty.
same. Oh, I was converted. I was absolutely converted when
Yeah,
I moved to China.
install one of those
It,
in my house.
it is
I could just dig
convenient.
a hole in the side of my yard, honestly, and it's basically the same thing. I might get arrested for public indecency, but it'd probably be worth it.
It was very convenient, but the lack of soap blew my mind every time. And no toilet paper either. Yeah, that was a culture shock for me, but I remember going to Disney in Shanghai because I had a Disney pass, so I went all the time.
We went together once.
Oh,
It
yes.
was
But they have
fun.
an option of squatty potties or, Western toilets. And I became so converted that I started just using squatty potties even at Disney.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have my booty cheeks on a public toilet if I can help it, first of all.
Oh, absolutely.
One of my companions once, like, we went to a bathroom that only had squatty potties, and she was like 5 minutes longer than me, and I was like, "You good?" She was like, "Yeah, it's just hard to like put your skirt back on without getting it wet." And I said, "Take your skirt off. You just pull it up. Why are we undressing?" I was shocked.
She fully took her skirt off, like off.
Yeah, she was undressing from the waist down, fully.
Wow.
No, I think I just started laughing right then and there, and I said, "I'm about to blow your mind. You actually don't have to do that." Because it's always wet around there. Like, you
Oh,
cannot
yeah.
take off or put on an article of clothing without getting it soaked in someone else's urine. That's a fact.
No, they're disgusting. They're
Yeah.
disgusting on the floor.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You got sticky soles of your shoes. You're walking out of the bathroom and it's like, and you just know it's other people's pee. But I loved it. So,
There's just something about it, you know? You
yeah.
gotta try it to understand. For me personally, China, hands down, one of the best, most fun times of my whole life. How was your China experience?
It was great. Honestly, this little school that I was with, they provided an apartment for me and I had a roommate. She was Chinese, but she was also a member of the church. So we like bonded on that level. She was a literal angel and she would go out with me and she showed me the ropes and we lived like super close to the school. So we just walked to and from every day. And then the school itself was, I mean, it was kind of a hot mess, but it was fun. And the kids were so sweet. They didn't really overwork me. I just was kind of hanging out. It was a good time, honestly.
Do you remember going to the markets on Sunday night? It was about a 20-minute walk from my apartment, and we would go and they had all of the stands with food. Everyone would freak out because we were this group of white Americans. I just remember feeling like an actual celebrity going to those markets because there was just no tourists. That was a neighborhood. They
Uh-huh.
did not see people that looked like us, and you had blonde hair, I had blonde hair. Do you have blue eyes as well?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so it was you, me, and Meg, all three of us, blonde hair, blue eyed, walking
Hmm.
in. I just remember the amount of free food that we would get. They would all be just screaming at us in Chinese, arms forward with whatever product they had, begging us to come eat
Uh-huh.
it. Because what was so bizarre to me was the second we walked over and we would eat whatever they had, then an instant line would form at that booth. So I was fed every Sunday night at those
Yeah.
markets.
I'm also like 100 feet tall and I speak Chinese. And so honestly, I could never tell if like the people who owned the stands were like liked me more or less because they're obviously impressed, but then they're also like, you're kind of like, you're not authentic. Like, why are you speaking Chinese? Are you a real white person? It's like, but I loved it. I do love a little attention, you know? And that being said, I was quote unquote fluent in Chinese. So tell me why, like, I got so tragically lost on the subway multiple times. Like, I transferred to the wrong train and I'm like here on the east side of Shanghai when I'm supposed to be in the west. And I pride myself on knowing a cardinal direction. I get down into the depths of the China subway, panic sets in, and I'm just hopping on trains like, I don't even think. I just like, I'm gonna miss it. It's the wrong train, but like, I don't want to miss it. So that's why it was stressful, I think. You never know if you're gonna end up where you need to be.
I was super lucky because my boss, for the first 2 weeks, he flies out from California to meet us in China and train us. And he showed me how to use the subway system. And thank goodness he did because I'd never used anything like that in my life. And I really liked China's train system. The fact that it could be fully crowded and never smelled, loved
Yeah,
that.
what's
Because
that about?
well, this is a real thing. I looked it up because Asian people, they don't sweat as much. It's something in their DNA. They don't sweat as much and they don't have as much BO. So you could be on this subway just completely packed. There is not 1 inch of space between
Yeah,
you
you're rubbing
and
up on five different people at least.
at least everybody's sweating, but you don't smell a thing.
Amazing. I was also like a full head above everyone else. So I had like a whole different like stratosphere of air that I was breathing. It was untouched. So that added another level of freshness. They were
It was
probably smelling my BO because their head was directly under my armpit and I'm holding on to a pole for dear life. So I apologize. This is a blanket apology to everyone in a China subway who smelt me because it was hot and it was humid. I'm
much.
from Arizona. I'm
Uh,
essentially a cactus in and of myself, and so all the humidity was like I was not okay. I say that like I
yeah.
don't live like the hottest part of the U.S. I'm like, ew. It really is just the humidity. Like, because I was literally working outside on the ramp at the airport where the asphalt's like 150 degrees, and like that's fine. Like I was a crispy skeleton. But like literally when I was in Taiwan and China, I opened my door and my glasses instantly fogged up because it was so humid. Like my soul just can't. It's not good for morale. Why are my hands and my feet always like 20 degrees colder than the rest of my body? I think I have a thyroid problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna do anything about it, but like my hands and my feet are always frozen. And every time I go to pick up my baby, I'm like, sorry, don't call CPS on me. Like, it's not on purpose. I'm freezing you.
China was nice because they had AC, and although all of the temperatures were set in the summer to way too hot for these kids, and I was sweating to death, I will take that any day over Europe not having AC. What is that about? I feel like we don't talk about this enough as a
Natives.
society.
Yeah, I don't know what their deal is. And
I
like, would
didn't
it
know.
kill you to put an ice cube in a water too? Like, can I not have a lukewarm water? Like, give me AC or give me ice water. You can't deprive me of both. It's sick and twisted.
See, the ice doesn't bother me because I'm not an ice person, but I legitimately did not know that Europe doesn't have AC. So when I went to live in Switzerland, I was shook to my core. And then they don't have screens on the windows. It's either die of heat stroke in the night or open the window and get eaten alive by mosquitoes. No in between.
Yeah, those sound like great options. I don't know what you're complaining about.
I just hate that these influencers are like, oh, hot European girl summer. Emphasis on the word hot.
Say what you will about the US, but like, I'd rather be like chained to an AC, thrown to the bottom of the ocean, but at least I have my AC, than live in a place that doesn't have AC.
Yeah, I started to understand where my values really truly are. I thought I could do any condition, anything. Turns out I can't. China was a lot easier for me, conditions wise, than Switzerland was. Okay, Annie, any last thoughts before I know we're kind of like having an abrupt ending, but this has been so wonderful. Thank you so much
Yes.
for coming.
Yes, of course. If the people don't hate me, you'll have to have me back on where we could talk about Trek because I wrote down all of my thoughts for that and more hills that I would die on. It was so fun to chat with you. I miss you. Feel free to
Oh,
come
I
down
miss
to
you.
Arizona.
I would love to. Your weather is my vibe. Okay, thank you so much, my friend. I am absolutely positive that we will have you back on for the Trek episode
Yes.
and for so many more things because you're just amazing and I love you and I'm obsessed with your stories. So thank you for being my personal celebrity.
Anytime. You're my celebrity.
I love you. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.